Hello, everyone, and welcome. Thank you for joining us today at Carleton University. My name is Maria DeRosa, and I'm the Dean of Science here at Carleton. I want to welcome some of our special guests today, the Premier of Ontario, the Honourable Doug Ford, Ontario's Deputy Premier and Minister of Health, the Honourable Sylvia Jones, Ontario's Minister of Colleges and Universities, the Honourable Nolan Quinn, and our very own Mayor, Mark Sutcliffe. And of course, all of you here joining us today, virtually and in person. Welcome, everyone. Carleton University acknowledges the location of our campus on the traditional and unceded territories of the Algonquin Nation. In doing so, we acknowledge our responsibility to the Algonquin people, our responsibility to adhere to their cultural protocols, and of course, our responsibility to advancing reconciliation in our teaching and research. We're here today to announce some very exciting news. It will transform nursing education and the future of healthcare. I'm so proud of the partnership we're about to announce and the impact it will have in our community and across the province. So without further ado, please help me welcome Premier Doug Ford.
Well, first of all, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you, Maria, for not only that introduction, but for all the work that you do. It's incredible. I'm thrilled to be back here in the beautiful city of Ottawa, to see my good pal there, the mayor. No, he's a champ. He really is. And I just have the best time when I come to Ottawa. And alongside, I always say, my all-star and champion Minister of Health, Deputy Premier, Sylvia Jones. And she's blazing a new trail when it comes to healthcare, not only in Ontario, but across the country. And of course, Minister Quinn, Nolan, always great to see you as well. I know you're just starting off over the last few months, but you're doing an incredible job, and we're fortunate to have them leading and supporting our colleges and universities. And I always say, when I'm out and about, all over, and we have companies from all over the world coming to invest in Ontario. Just to give you a quick example, we had 137 companies worldwide come and invest in Ontario, $11 billion, 12,200 employees. And where I'm going with this, our number one selling feature are colleges and universities. You know, the quality of young people graduating from our colleges and universities. I'll put our colleges and universities against anyone. I spent 20 years in Chicago, New Jersey, and flying all over the US. They have good universities, but I'll put ours up against them any day. Before I get started, I just want to acknowledge again, which I did. See, that's what happens, Mayor, when I go off script and I'm repeating this. That's right. I want to acknowledge and welcome Mayor Sutcliffe, and a big thank you to Jerry, Pauline, and Danielle from Carleton University. Thank you for everything that you do, as well as Dr. Faulkner. Thank you. You're an absolutely champion. We were talking behind the curtain, and he says, "Boy, you're busy." I'll tell you, I've been not as busy as you, because you're doing an incredible job, and obviously Yvonne from Queensway Carleton Hospital for hosting us today, and for being such great partners to our government as we connect more people in Ontario to convenient health care. And friends, while we know we have more work to do, I always say it's continuous improvement, we're making significant progress together on building a stronger, more resilient healthcare system here in Ottawa and right across our province. Since 2020, and this always amazes me, some of these numbers, we've added more than 3,500 new hospital beds to the system. We're investing $50 billion over the next decade to build and or expand more than 50 hospitals. And this includes funding for Ottawa Civic Hospitals, new state-of-the-art healthcare facility and academic research center, and Carleton Place Memorial Hospital's emergency department and redevelopment. As our population grows, and it was growing the fastest anywhere in North America, over 800,000 people landed in our province last year alone. Our province population grows. We're also finding ways to relieve pressure on our hospitals and emergency rooms. But on the additions of the 50 hospitals expanded or new ones, we're going to add another 3,000 beds, if that's correct, Minister, an additional 3,000 beds, and we're going to continue building on that. We're expanding the number of surgeries done at community surgical and diagnostic centers. We've expanded home care and paramedicine services and added new urgent care centers and pediatric clinics, and have empowered nurses and pharmacists to treat and prescribe medications for the most common ailments. And I think the last number I heard was over a million people went into their pharmacists. And that was the old number, is probably well over that as well. But what that does, it takes the burden off the family docs. You know, rather than showing up and getting a prescription for a common ailment, they get to fill that, and the doc can focus on the long list of people he has to see. We're also investing $546 million to connect over 600,000 more people to primary care teams, and recently appointed Dr. Jane Philpott to help ensure that every single person in Ontario is connected to primary health care within the next 5 years, because while we lead the country with close to 90% of people connected to regular health care providers, we can't stop and we won't stop until we connect every single person in Ontario to primary care. And as we do, we remain focused on adding more healthcare workers. Since 2018, Ontario has seen a record-breaking number of new healthcare professionals join the workforce. These numbers impress me. We've added more than 12,500 doctors and more than 80,000 nurses in Ontario, 80,000, with another 30,000 nursing students right here and right around the province in our schools. In our most recent budget, we announced an investment of an additional $128 million over the next 3 years to add 3,000 nursing student spaces and publicly assisted colleges and universities. We've also embarked on the largest expansion of our medical school system in decades. And just last week, as part of our fall economic statement, we announced an expansion of our popular Learn and Stay program, which will now cover the tuition costs for students who commit to practice family medicine in Ontario once they graduate. But as I said earlier, we have more work to do, and we can never lose sight of that. And one of my favorite ones is, and I hear it all the time, you go out to meet people, you're at a little party, you're here or there, and I'll say, you know, how's little Johnny or little Jane doing? Oh, they're in Ireland. What are they doing in Ireland? They're going to medical school because we have no seats here in Ontario, because they're given 18% of the seats are given to people from around the world that come here, take the seats, learn, get their doctorate, and then they go back home. That's unacceptable. That's done. That's going to be finished. We're going to make sure that 100% of those seats are filled with Canadians, and within that 100%, 95% have to be Ontarians. We have to spread the 5% across the country. I couldn't leave the rest of the country out on that, but that's what we need to do. And rather than have them in Ireland or down in the Caribbean or down in the US, they're going to be here in Ontario, because what happens, I've heard it over and over again, they go to medical school and they meet someone and they don't come back home. We want these students, medical students, back here. That's why today I'm so pleased to join you to celebrate this announcement of Ontario's first new university nursing program in 20 years. Starting in September 2025, Carleton University, in partnership with Queensway Carleton Hospital, will offer a new 3-year Bachelor of Science nursing degree program. As part of the program, nursing students will have a unique opportunity to receive hands-on training at QCH during their course of study. Nothing's better than right on-site training there, helping students develop critical skills in the real-world setting. This new program, this new seats at Carleton University, they represent Ontario's nurses of the future, the next generation of healthcare professionals in our hospitals, in our long-term care homes, and clinical settings. And with a first class of up to 110 students set to start practicing by 2029, people here in Ottawa and across Ontario will start seeing the positive impacts of this new program within a few short years. And friends, we're going to keep working closely with hospitals, associations, and universities and colleges to bolster our pipeline of healthcare talent so that all Ontarians in every corner of this province get the quality care they need closer to home. Thank you to everyone here at Carleton University and QCH for launching this program, and thank you all for joining us today, and may God bless the people of Ontario. Now I have the privilege to pass the floor over to my right-hand person, just an incredible partner. You know, I call Sylvia numerous times a day about everything you could possibly think of. So on the weekend, I called her up, I think it was Saturday. I said, I promise you, I will not call you on Sunday. So you had one, or did I call you? I probably text you something. But I'm just so blessed to have just a quality person. And come on up, my great Deputy Premier. Thank you.
Thank you, Premier Ford, and good afternoon. You know, under Premier Ford's leadership, we have a bit of a mantra, and that is show progress, celebrate success, and I'm going to add one more, leverage those partnerships. So Queensway Carleton, Carleton University, thank you, congratulations. I am so pleased to be able to be here alongside Premier Ford and, of course, my colleague, Minister Quinn. It's also great to see so many of the world-class teams here at Carleton University and Queensway Carleton Hospital. Each time I visit Ottawa, it's to celebrate exciting news about how our government is working with our partners to connect you and your families to the care you need in your community now and for years to come. And today is no exception. Under the leadership of Premier Ford, our government is making record investments in healthcare, taking bold action, and making innovative changes to provide more people with the right care in the right place. We are expanding hospital capacity with shovels in the ground for over 50 hospital projects, including, of course, the Ottawa Hospital Civic Campus, where our government is adding more than 300 new beds in your community. We are increasing access to primary care by expanding access to interprofessional primary care teams, including a new nurse practitioner-led clinic right here in Ottawa, where 6,400 more people will be connected to primary care practitioners. Our government is also improving access to key services like patient care. Last summer at CHEO, Premier Ford and I announced the largest investment in pediatric care in Ontario's history, investing $330 million over 100 initiatives to make it easier for children and their families to access care they need when they need it. At CHEO, this record investment created a new regional pediatric program, adding nearly 300 new positions and allowing their urgent care center and emergency department to ramp up capacity to treat an additional 30,000 patients. We have achieved great progress with your support. And today's historic announcement, the first university nursing program in over 20 years, builds on our government's work to connect more people to the high-quality care they need and deserve by strengthening the nursing workforce, by adding over 200 new nurses each year for decades to come. Each action our government takes brings us one step closer to ensuring all Ontarians at every stage of life can connect to the care they need when they need it, close to home. Thank you again to all nursing, healthcare, community partners who have made today's announcement possible. It's now my pleasure to turn the podium over to Minister Nolan Quinn to share a few words. Stay well.
Good afternoon, everyone. I feel like I'm in my neighborhood. My riding is Stormont, Dundas, South Glengarry, just down the highway, and I live in St. Andrews West with my family, so it's great to be here today. It's a great afternoon in Ontario today, particularly in Ottawa, where today's news will mean fantastic things for families in both the city and the wider region of Eastern Ontario. As the Minister of Colleges and Universities, I'm proud to be part of the post-secondary education system that values healthcare workers, including our nurses. So much so that all 24 publicly assisted colleges and 14 publicly assisted universities, as well as 6 Indigenous institutes in Ontario, offer some sort of nursing education. And now today, we're including Carleton University's newest offering, the Honors of Bachelor of Science in Nursing program. This direct entry compressed BScN program, one of only 2 Ontario universities programs that are like it, will provide students graduating high school with high-quality education, training, and support their journeys to be the next generation of registered nurses. With a concentration in mental health and neuroscience, Carleton University's future nurses will be educated to treat patients holistically, addressing all aspects of their health and well-being, and in a concentration with nursing data science. Carleton University's nursing graduates will help drive healthcare innovations in Ontario. I want to take a quick moment to celebrate how this program got off the ground, because it's a great example of solutions-oriented leadership, both in healthcare and the post-secondary space. Maria DeRosa, Dean of Faculty of Science at Carleton University, and Yvonne Wilson, Vice President of Patient Care and Chief Nursing Executive at Queensway Carleton Hospital, met at a networking event in Canada. As they discussed the post-COVID healthcare space, they began brainstorming how they could take action to address some of the challenges that emerged from the pandemic. That conversation, and I'm sure dozens more afterwards, led to the creation of the first new nursing curriculum from an Ontario university in over 20 years. It's an impressive accomplishment. Thank you, Maria, and thank you, Yvonne, and the teams from Carleton and the Queensway Carleton Hospital for making this program a reality. I can't wait to be back here in a few years when the first cohort of students graduate from the program. Now I'm going to pass the mic over to Jerry Tomberlin, President and Vice Chancellor at Carleton University. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Minister Quinn, Minister Jones, Premier Ford, Mayor Sutcliffe. Thank you all for joining us here today. Such an exciting event. You know, here at Carleton, we've always been dedicated to having a strong, positive community impact. Community is, we came out of the community, that's who we are. It's been a part of who we are since we were founded in 1942. We have always pursued academic excellence that's achieved by a laser focus on teaching and learning and research, and by constant innovation that ensures an ever stronger and positive impact on the communities we serve. Rooted in research and pedagogical expertise and innovation, our new nursing program embodies all of these core values. It's just fantastic, and it's amazing that we did this in such a short period of time. By accelerating the graduation of nurses into Ontario's workforce, it will help improve and transform patient care in this province. And by partnering with Ottawa's Queensway Carleton Hospital to create this program, we are demonstrating the value of collaborating with like-minded institutions right here in our own local community. But I'm most excited perhaps about how innovative this new nursing program is. When we began to design Ontario's first new university nursing program in more than 20 years, we knew we didn't want to roll out something conventional. It didn't make sense. It was an opportunity to do something brand new. It includes elements that some of my colleagues will elaborate on later this afternoon, such as an early clinical placements and the integration of leading-edge technologies. This will ensure that students gain practical experience from the beginning and are well prepared to help meet Ontario's nursing demand. The focus of today's event is, of course, nursing, but I wanted to mention that our new Bachelor of Science in Nursing is one of 6 new programs, undergraduate programs, that Carleton will launch in the fall of 2025. All of them kind of in record time. They're all tailored for today's high-demand careers. This is a priority of Carleton as a university, preparing the next generation so that they are ready to tackle our society's most pressing problems. Thank you, Premier Ford, and for all of you joining us here today on our beautiful campus, and thank you for being a part of Carleton University's and Queensway Carleton Hospital's bold move into a new and innovative program for educating a new generation of nurses in Ontario. Thank you so much. And now it's my pleasure to introduce our partner, Yvonne. It's here, and I know it. Thank you. That's because I'm looking at my own name and title. That's probably why. So Yvonne Wilson, who's the Vice President of Patient Care and Chief Nursing Executive. Yvonne, welcome to the stage. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Jerry, for that great introduction. It's everybody's going to remember my last name 100% for sure. And I want to thank you all for being here. It is amazing to think 2 years ago at Tech Tuesday at Hub 350, Maria DeRosa and I met. I was invited to present the challenges we were experiencing in our healthcare system. And while I was there, Maria and I started to chat. I am a true believer that we don't meet people by accident. They are meant to cross our path for a reason. So thank you. The pandemic made an already delicate nursing situation even more difficult. Some nurses retired early. Some nurses moved to other jobs outside of the hospital. Some reduced their hours, and others left the profession entirely. Working through the pandemic created significant exhaustion and burnout for nurses in our system. Our new nurses coming into the system felt overwhelmed, and many left. Ontario is currently short 26,000 nurses. That number is expected to grow to 33,000. But we're going to be making a difference, and thank you, Premier, for helping us do that. Not only is there a need for more nurses, but we also need nurses who are ready to hit the ground running with the skills and education to support the needs of today and the future. When Maria and I met on that fateful day, we knew that we had to do things differently. What if we could prepare new nurses? What if we could improve things for our nurses who are already in the workplace? What if nurses came to the hospital already trained in mental health and resilience? What if the next generation of nurses were trained to leverage AI and help change the future of healthcare? What if we built a brand new school of nursing and built the curriculum right from the ground up? Although it's unusual that a healthcare and academic institution would collaborate to this extent, but our partnership with Carleton doesn't actually surprise me. We share the same innovation and agile culture that allow us to adapt to new changing landscapes of healthcare and education. This synergy is what fueled the creation of this groundbreaking program. Together with Indigenous practitioners and scholars, recent nursing grads, and other key partners, we designed a compressed curriculum that equips our nurses with the skills and experience to have an immediate impact upon entering the workforce. Our 3-year Bachelor of Science nursing program gets new nurses to the front lines 1 year faster than other programs and with more on-the-ground practical experience. I am honored and I am humbled to be part of this groundbreaking program. Together, we're building the future of healthcare for our community and our province. I would now like to introduce my very good friend, Danielle Manley. She worked with us at Queensway as the manager of professional practice and joined us on this journey, and Carleton are absolutely blessed to have her as their director.
I've just realized I have an overly ambitious agenda of things to say in this short period of time. so I will be improvising. Thank you so much, Yvonne. And thank you all so much for being here today. What I did not appreciate is the emotions that would come over me as I looked over the room on all of the people who were part of the development of this project. Everything was done way faster than anyone has ever worked. Everything was done very differently than anyone has ever done. As a registered nurse, I am so proud to be part of the most trusted profession, and it is my great pleasure to now have a few more people in the room who understand what a registered nurse is. So thank you all for that, and I will do my very best to keep my emotions in control. I can do this in critical care scenarios, but apparently this is too much for me to handle. This brings me to the concept of innovation. We all talk about innovation. It is a word that is used everywhere. And it recently struck me, and I got to speak with my friends at Queensway Carleton Hospital and our medical simulation committee. This definition by registered nurse Dr. Gillian Strudwick, who said, innovation is actually about figuring out that there's a problem, figuring out that there's a solution, but understanding that you have to work differently to get to that solution than things you've always done over and over. And more importantly, it's about the collaboration and who you do that with. And that is incorporating every single team member as an interprofessional team in the hospital, and that is the difference for us. It's not siloed approach. It's working very differently with lots of community partners, and I heard that in the messaging here today, and I'm so proud of that part as well. It's also the key tenet of the Kinawagwin Learning Report, and so that was a response to the calls of the Truth and Reconciliation Committee that I am so, so proud of to work for Carleton University now, and this means learning together. This is the construct of innovation. For us and my colleagues, the design of the program started with students, now registered nurses, and so this is an emotional thing for me too to see, I haven't been in my career the 40 years that other people have, and so seeing other nurses coming through their career is incredible. Having them sit as the cornerstone of people who have informed our program is so important to us. Holding students at the center of our model and holding patients at the center of our model are the values that we can't stray away from, and so we are committed to making sure these values will always remain at the core of our models. Another core value is addressing the high burnout rates in nursing, reported at over 80%. Mental health and resilience training is a vital part of our design, not just in learning how to support our patients, but also in developing tools for effective, safe care of our providers. We want our students to remain in this profession for the long haul. We want them to be part of the dynamic new approach to healthcare in Ontario, and we need them to do that in a way that supports their own health as well. Like the famous airplane adage, you have to be able to apply your own oxygen mask before you can effectively help other people. Finally, we have an opportunity to develop a curriculum that supports not only the current scope of practice of registered nurses, as we've done for the last 20 years, but actually the future of registered nursing practice. Looking at things like RM prescribing, looking at how we can offload the healthcare system, doing it in a compressed model where we do create a curriculum that is net new from the ground up. Using technology like virtual reality and simulation to support as EdTech, I'm looking over for my EdTech folks, while also preparing nursing who will thrive with creating technology. So creating healthcare providers who can build the technology. This is the best opportunity for us to invent new definitions of what our clinicians do and therefore how they impact the future. And what I'm really excited to announce is that we will be providing much of this teaching in a place where we can best foster this type of collaboration, which is in Canada North, Canada's largest tech partner, with our partner Elevate. This is an exciting day for me, for Carleton University, for Queensway Carleton Hospital, and for the province. And next, I would like to welcome probably one of the most important people here today, formerly a student, new nursing, registered nurse at Queensway Carleton Hospital, Addison Yeomans. Welcome to you.
Thank you, Danielle. Hi, everyone. My name is Addison Yeomans. I am a newly graduated registered nurse and currently work at the Queensway Carleton Hospital. I'm thrilled to be a part of this new nursing program. Back in July of 2023, I was approached to be a part of a focus group with other nursing students and newly graduated nurses from varying schools. We were asked to describe our educational experiences and to talk about the strengths and opportunities we saw in current nursing programs. As a group, we talked about the need for early clinical placements, both to help confirm our chosen careers and to deepen the connections we felt with our patients. We also discussed the importance of nursing simulation labs for nursing students to be able to practice and help consolidate their skills in a safe and realistic environment. As a recent graduate who completed my degree during the COVID-19 pandemic, I had one of the most unusual educations that nurses have experienced in a long time. I learned differently, I saw different clinical situations, and now care for a more complex patient population in an evolving healthcare system. Thinking about how Carleton's new nursing program has been built, I wish I could have taken it. My opinion informed the development of this program. All the items that nursing students and recent graduates like myself suggested for its design have been implemented, which I think is so unique considering that this is the first new nursing program from an established Ontario university in over 20 years. Students coming into this program will be able to connect the theory that they learn in the classroom to hands-on clinical experiences. They will get to experience some amazing educational technology, as well as get the mental wellness support that is so important for nurses these days. I'm so excited to be a part of the creation of this program because it combines the best elements of all the different educational models that me and my fellow newly graduated nurses have experienced, and because it really keeps the student and the patient at the center of everything. I think this program is exactly what Ontario needs. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Addison, and thank you to all the nursing students who helped us build this incredible nursing program. This concludes the formal part of today's event, but first let me share my deep gratitude, of course, to Premier Ford, to Ministers Quinn and Jones, everyone here today, our trusted partners from Queensway Carleton, everybody that was able to celebrate with us today. This is such an exciting new venture for Carleton University, the Queensway Carleton Hospital, and indeed the province of Ontario. Please join us now for some refreshments in the back, and let's celebrate together this big achievement. Thank you, everybody.